Hi, everyone. I'd like to say that this is my first screencast, but I just recorded two, and apparently I didn't turn the microphone on. So, take three. So, this is the Who's Reading app or website, and I'm going to log in. So, when I hit login, it's going to go to student. I'm going to put my username in, which is wr.sally. Sally4, and my password, which is going to be secret. Okay, so I log in. The one thing we're finding when people are logging in is if they have more than one child using the website, it's kind of difficult to log in and log out. So I'm going to say don't save my password. And when you log out, make sure you go to my account and log out before you go into the next kid. So because I've done this more than once, I'm already logged into Sally and I'm already up to level 6. Don't worry, everyone, I'm going to delete all of these fake minutes that I've put into the account. So, a couple things, logging reading. So you want to search for a book. So let's say that I'm going to read Erie Elementary. And I'm going to search for the book. The School's Alive by Jack Chabert. All right, so I read this book today, and let's say that I only read one chapter and it took me about 10 minutes. I'm not going to put the complete book section, and I'm going to submit my reading. When I do that, it logs my reading and it says that I did a good job. The thing that we seem to be having trouble with, I think, when kids are logging minutes is they're searching for that book. So let's do Erie Elementary again. And they're reading, let's say they're reading for about an hour. So when they go to read, they might be reading a whole book or small books, picture books. Let's say they're reading Fly Guy or something like that. It takes them about 10 minutes to maybe read that book, but they're not sure because they haven't kept track. Maybe they realize they read from 5:30 to 6:30, but they don't know how long it took them to read that book or that section or that chapter. So when they're going to log something in, they're just guessing kind of how many minutes. I think that chapter took me about 30 minutes and, or sometimes 40 minutes. Let's say 40. And they're submitting the work. Well, the problem is that all of a sudden they're not kind of keeping track of how many books or how many chapters they read within that hour, and they have an exorbitant amount of minutes, like, let's say over 300 or 400 or things like that. Now, some kids, they genuinely read a lot, and that's, the first day of the incentive, some kids went home and read all afternoon. I had one person told me their kid read through dinner. So they're going to have more minutes. We want to make sure that this isn't becoming something that they will burn out on. And we also want to make sure it's something that everybody feels like they can still participate and compete in. It's mostly about reading and that pride of reading and hopefully getting them onto the websites and getting them excited. So a couple other things I want to show you. So we saw the logging reading, writing responses. So The School's Alive, I can check on that book and I can write a review. Now, if I write it too short, I liked this book. Submit. It's going to tell me that I need to write a little bit more if I want to get my point. So I like this. I'll say I liked the start of this book, because you can see what a great typer I am, because the characters are interesting. I wondered why Sam does not want to be a hall monitor. All right. So now I can submit and I get 60 points for 60 coins for writing a good response. The thing that you'll see too is that if you go to my class page, you can see what the kids in your class are doing. So I can see what my kids are doing tonight here. And right now, my fake Sally is doing most of the work here. But let's say you can see Sally Summer asked, "Was Luke in this book?" Because he read a Jedi book. So I can comment on what the students are doing. I can comment on if they're getting a pledge. Students can also comment on each other's posts. They can like the books that they've read. Let's go down here to somebody else. You can see some of our fifth grade students are liking different things. Every time you like something, I think you get more coins. So let's pay attention to that. 1,755 looks like somebody else's book. Let's do Patrick's. And nope. So I guess after a while, it'll kind of like, if you can like a million of them, it will maybe won't give you points or coins for all those. I think it seems to be like the new things that you do, you get more and more points. So oh, and these are the the points here. There's, I guess the coins are different than the actual points. So the things that we want to be careful of and want to make sure is that the students are writing positive comments to their classmates, that they're asking questions, and that when they're writing responses, that they're really practicing answering in complete sentences and thinking about the books. Some teachers I see are already commenting on their students' work, asking them questions or asking them to give them evidence, which is wonderful. So that's going to vary teacher to teacher, and that's okay. So we have our class page. We also have a school page. Oh, I like something, so I did get a point. So we can see our top fundraiser and our top reader. We also can see the classes that have raised the most money or read the most minutes. And you can even see how much money and minutes we have per school. So we're already at $3,644, and we've read over 22,000 minutes. So the kids are definitely excited and engaged. We also can invite sponsors. So I already authorized this. When you first log into this page, it says send the email invite. So you have to put your parents' email address, or parents, you have to put your email address in. And then you need to authorize the account. So you have to go to your email, open up the email from Who's Reading, and give permission. They're going to ask you the teacher's name and a couple of questions. Any other parents that you want to add to it. Then you can start sending out invitations. So let's see, you want to list aunts and uncles. Let's say we're gonna say I'm an aunt. And if I do my name and my email address, submit, and that's gonna send that out. It's gonna send it out in an email form. Then we can also share by Facebook. So you can copy and paste the link here and share it onto your Facebook page, or Twitter, or Pinterest. Even Pinterest, that seems funny. But you have those options. You can also do a paper copy. If you click on that, print this, send it out. You can make phone calls. We'd like the donations to be online as much as possible to save our treasurers from some work. That's kind of why we wanted to do the Who's Reading website. But if you want to use cash and check, you can send those into the office. Just make sure you put your child's name on it and how much money, and make sure it gets down to the office, because we'd hate to lose those pledges. And that's about it. So we have a leaderboard, my school, my class, invite sponsors, write responses, log reading. Again, just especially with the younger kids, if you want to kind of have them make a pile of the books that they've read, set a timer for how long they're reading so they can put the minutes in. I think that would be great. And if you have any questions, let us know. And if there's any technical issues, you could also pass on those questions and we can send them to the Who's Reading app. But that's it. So I hope everyone's excited. Got to get to that 20,000 so we can have our kickball tournament extravaganza. And have a good day.